Welcome back to this fourth part on how to bake out Normalmaps. Now, we are almost ready to bake out the Normalmaps here. There's only one last thing I want to talk about here, and this is optimization. So what we can do with this handle, if we like, is start to optimize it to really bring these poly counts down. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to collapse these two, and I'm going to select these between and delete them. Okay, and let's see, we can also move these up. So this is just optimizing this mesh to really benefit from the low poly aspect of this. Now, because we've already unwrapped this and these are disappearing, then essentially we will retain more or less all the information in this, so don't worry too much about that. So we can remove this, and let's see, I'm going to try to, let's see, can we collapse these? I think we can, so let's collapse this and these. Collapse, and let's see how many more. Yeah, so here and here we can collapse these. Now we can also do, let's see, can we do the same with these three? Yeah. Remove this one. However, I am going to keep these here because I want to retain this this overall shape here. Maybe I can do something a little like this, and it's probably best we collapse this, and let's bring this up here. Oh no, let's not do that. Let's see, 1, 2. Okay, so yeah, we'll leave this size. So you see that we've removed quite a few of these polygons, and if we go to the UVW map, you can see that that this has been essentially almost retained. We may need to just do some quick maneuvering. Let's see. Let's move these around a little. Maneuvering. Let's see, I can't say that word. So let's see, where's this? So we can bring this up. Okay. So if we apply our checker to this before we continue, we should get nice even checker patterns. Oops, wrong one. There we go. So you see there's a bit of a wobble here. Let's see where that is. Let's go in here. There we go. Let's fix this up. Okay, so that's going to do. So there we go. So now let's set this back to our grey. Let's select this. Let's go to layers. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to unhide all. And let's bring up this, and let's call this LP underscore. Okay. So we know that all these here can, let's unhide everything. Let's hide this. Let's remove this and this. Okay. So we press H. Select all this, and let's put this all in a high poly. Yeah, so we have one of everything essentially. There we go. We can delete these. One of these. Okay. So, unhide our blade. Go to layers, and you see it's the only thing on the layers here. So let's select our low poly and just hide this just for one moment here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to group these and call this blade, and then I'm going to select everything else except for the blade and go to group and call this handle. So now it's time to bake this. So let's unhide the blade or the knife here, and here's what I want to do. I'm going to convert this back to an editable poly, and from here I'm actually going to add a new editable poly here. I'm going to go to elements, and I'm going to select the blade, and all I'm going to do is pull this blade all the way out here. So we can now select this blade and then pull this out like this. We want this to fit as best as we can. So something like that looks just about right. Yep. So what we are essentially doing here is what's known as an exploding bake. Okay, so if we select this, when we bake these, we have these separated because we don't want any intersection between where the blade and the handle is. And we add this edit poly because once we turn it back off, the blade will snap right back into place here. So let's select our low poly blade, and this is the moment of truth. So let's go to render to texture, and I'm going to give this a moment. Now you can see that the initial the low poly blade is only half, okay, and we're doing that just because we only want half of this to be baked out, unless, yep, okay. So let's see what we can also do here is we can also turn the symmetry on this. Okay, so this is just going to ensure that we capture everything and not have no weirdness on the edges. So let's do this and go here and set this to 0 and choose flip. Okay, so now we have the full high poly asset here. So let's just make sure that when we bake this, there's going to be no weirdness where it just suddenly jumps off here. So let's begin. We're going to go to enable for projection, and we're going to choose pick, and you can see that there's nothing there, and this is because of the layers. So let's actually select everything just for now and apply them all to that same low poly layer. So now when we go to pick, let's see, they don't appear for some reason. Let's see, why is this? Let's go to group, ungroup. Might be because they're in groups here, so let's just ungroup some of these. Let's see, let's group, ungroup, and select this into symmetry. And let's apply symmetry to the rest of this here. Turn this on. Turn this on. Okay. So let's try again. Rendering, render to texture, and choose pick. Okay, so now they appear up here. So I guess it doesn't like those groups. I choose add, and it's going to create this cage, but this cage is very messy. So we're going to go under cage, and we're going to choose reset, and we are just going to push this out just a little bit. Now, what I like to do, and you've probably seen me do this in older videos, is I like to export this. Oops, did I do that correctly? Let's see. It's like a reset. Let's pull this out, push this out just a little bit. Okay, just like this. And choose export and call this cage. And then if we go to M and select a fresh material, and then just create some crazy color here. Press the H key to bring up the list and select cage, and then assign this like this. The reason I like this is it allows me to make sure that there is, or it makes it easy for me to see what parts I need to modify. So there's a clear modification that needs to be created right here at the back. So all I simply need to do is pull this out like this, perhaps pull this down, and this is just making sure that this cage covers absolutely everything, and there's no high poly sticking out of anywhere. And once I'm satisfied with that, I then go back and re-import this cage. So let's just check along here. So everything looks perfect to me. Oops, X, yep, okay. So let's go to import, press H, select the cage, press pick, and then I can select this cage and delete it. And then when I select this has been, as we can see here in the corner, been updated to best fit. Okay, so rendering, render texture, which I already have open, so let's pull this back up. I'm going to use existing channels. I'm going to choose add, and this is where I'm going to actually add the normal map. I'm going to choose add element. I'm going to give this a name, so I'm going to save this on my desktop, and I'm just going to call this knife underscore normal, and the output format is going to be a tagger. Choose save, press OK. And I'm going to go 2048 by 2048. And just for the let's just check. So, and just make sure rain mischeck is on, so any errors we get will appear in red. And then once we've done that, we can choose render, choose continue, and there we see we have all this baked out. So you can see there's a few issues here. One is with the back of this blade, and the other one is right here in the corner. So let's go ahead and deal with that. So let's look. I believe this mischeck here is picking up on the fact that this cage needs to be pulled back a little, just like this, and it's probably also picking up just a little bit on the corner. Let's see where it is. I think it's just intersecting a little bit here, so let's just pull this down a little further. So now if we go back to the render to texture and choose render, it's going to ask do I want to overwrite. I'm going to choose yes. So this is still here. This has disappeared, so I'm curious to see what's going on here. Let's see. Perhaps this needs pulling out a little. So let's select these and pull these out just a little bit like this. Choose render. It's going to ask us, would you like to overwrite again? I'm going to choose yes. Okay, so something is clearly going wrong here. But I'm actually not going to worry about it. Oh, that's why. Nope. Okay. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to worry about it too much anyway. This should all be flat anyway, so it's going to be easy to fix. So let's select this and bring this back, and we're going to also pull this knife back to something like this. I'm going to press P to go back into the perspective, press H, select our low poly knife, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag a copy up and hide the original. So we'll get these two knives here, and let's go ahead and apply that normal map. So let's select an empty slot here, and actually doing this wrong. So I'm going to give this a little bit of shininess like this. I'm going to go to maps, choose bump, I'm going to set this to 100 so we get 100% of the effect, and choose none, choose normal bump, and instead normal we're going to choose none again. I'm going to choose bitmap, and we are going to go ahead and choose this knife normal and press OK. And so when we apply this like so, you can see we have this on here. So let's go ahead and go back, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose real time here. Okay, and with the real time on, now you can see we actually have the detail from the knife being projected here. So we have all the seams that go along here. We have a seam that goes along here. You see there's no real issues here, but you can see we've actually done a very nice job in collecting the smoothing information from the bottom. We have the logo, and we have everything, so everything looks just fine. Let's check the blade out here. So the blade looks okay. There is a small issue right here, which we'll fix in post. Okay, but other than that, here's what we can do. Once we have this, we can convert this to an editable poly, and let's add our symmetry on top of this. And we'll choose this direction. And actually what we need to do is do this. Let's delete this and try that again. Top. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have that set up. Let's add our symmetry. Okay. Press P, go to perspective. And there we have our knife, fully normal mapped. Everything's perfect. As I said, there is this one issue here with this, and the way around that is all you have to do is take these, is just make this handle a little smaller, okay, and then pull those normals down, and then flip these around, and we'll look at doing that possibly in the next video. But until then, in the next video we're actually going to fix some of these normal issues inside Photoshop. So until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.